Okay, today in class we began talking about how to assess complex text and how to use text evidence. This is a very, very complicated task that we're going to be working on this year in ELA. I wanted to go back and do this quick lesson with you to kind of review about what this stuff means. I felt like today that a lot of people really began to understand what it means to do these things, but there's still a few of you that are a little bit shaky about it, a little bit rusty, not real sure how to do this. So I want to go back through this with you. And even for those of you that got it later on this year, when we go back over this for testing purposes, you can go back and review the video and see what it means to, or how to assess complex tests, and also how to use text evidence. Okay. First of all, assessing complex text. We talked about this today in class. There are three things that we're going to be doing. First of all, on Mondays, when we get our anchor text in front of us, I will have you do a first read. Now, a first read, that is when we read the text together as a class, and we discuss certain questions that are with the text, with the story. And I'm going to ask you questions about it, and it's going to be led by the teacher. Now, in my teacher edition book, there are questions that I go by that will help me to see, do you truly understand what is going on in the story? I may provide these for you and have you read these stories on your own, or it could be in social studies or any other subject where you have to go through and read it to see, do I really understand? So this is kind of led by the teacher. Your second read, this is also led by the teacher. It's for the purpose of studying short sections of text to gain a deeper understanding. And I have on there dig deeper. This is our dig deeper activity that we will do on Tuesdays. Now, what this means is that I may ask you to go back in on a certain section that we just read. For example, the activity we did today, we didn't go back and read the whole article. We just read certain sections of it, or we went back and we looked for certain parts to help us answer those questions. That's also teacher-led. That's your second read, okay? Or it will be your dig deeper activity that you'll see in your ELA book. Thirdly, this is called independent reading, or third read. You may hear it called third read by some teachers, or independent read. This is done by you, the student. You're doing this alone. It says students read and analyze the same text on their own and ask questions about it. Now, this is kind of a challenging part, the asking questions. This is a new skill for many of us to be learning, but I hope by the end of this week we'll truly understand what it means or how to ask questions. But independent read, if you hear me say we're going to do independent read or third read, that means you're going to be doing something by yourself. Okay, you're going to be reading a certain text by yourself, looking for certain types of information or questions. You're going to be questioning yourself, and then you turn around and answer that. It says you write a response to the text. Okay, I may provide you with an article to read. After you read it, I may say, okay, tell me what you think. Reply. Do you agree with the author of this article? Do you agree with the person who wrote the article? Do you agree with your classmates? And this is where you will write your response to that topic, whatever the topic may be. Next thing we learned about is how to use text evidence. Now this year I've been saying prove it to me. And some of you have done a fairly good job of being able to prove things to me using your text. But we need to practice on this a little bit more, because when it comes time for writing, your writing prompts will be asking you to prove your answer or your opinion or your facts from the text. And if you've never read the text, then how are you going to be able to prove it? So this will also help me as a teacher to see, are you reading the text when I ask you to read it? Okay? There are two things that we do. I gave you a sheet that has the detective skills on there. First thing we have to do is identify, is this piece of writing that we are reading, is it a literature piece or is it an informational piece? If it's a literature piece, we're going to be looking at characters, setting, plots, and events. There's going to be a big story there. If it's an informational text, or informational piece of writing, we are going to be looking at for the main ideas in each section that we read, or each paragraph, and we've done an example of that today in class. Also, we're going to be looking at how the paragraph is organized. Does it have a main idea? What are the supporting details? We're going to be asking questions, and we're going to be learning how to do that this week, how to ask proper questions about our text. We've done this in social studies today, and you're going to see, you'll learn how to do that, okay? So again, that's when we are looking for proof this year. When you hear me say prove it, I'm asking you to go through and find examples to back up what you're stating. I like to tell students, think about being in court. You have a lawyer that's bringing charges against somebody. They have to be able to prove that this person did something wrong. You can't just go in and say, Your Honor, so-and-so is wrong, and they go to jail for that. You have to be able to prove that this person did something wrong. Okay? That's just a quick review for you about first read, second read, independent or third read as we call it, and how to use text evidence. All right, I hope that helps you, and if you have any questions about this, you can always go back through and watch the video again. You can also ask me, if you get an opportunity, you can ask me, or better yet, look in your text. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.